Greetings, Aubrey. I loved listening to your thread and I really enjoyed your conversational tone and transparency. You'll have a great rapport with future clients. Great observation on your counselor's note taking skills. I am an avid note taker, so I think that's a fantastic idea, especially when you mentioned giving downtime for both the client and the counselor to process what has been said, and that's an advanced skill, the silence. And I've not heard of a counselor recapping what was discussed in the previous session by kicking off with a recap in the current session, but I think that would be an effective tool for staying focused on the client's goals, thus goal setting. I am also very drawn, like you, to the cognitive behavioral therapeutic approach, and I wanted to share a few lines from author Dwayne Halber and other authors developing your theoretical orientation about CBD. This approach views emotional behavioral consequences as a result of inner thoughts and cognitions. People control how they feel by what they think. The ultimate goal of CBD is to teach clients to think about how they think so that they can correct faulty reasoning. The greater goal is to assist clients in changing systemic faulty thinking and developing the ability to be their own therapist. That reminds me of several scriptural verses, including Romans 12:2, which states, "And do not be conformed to this world, but be transformed by the renewing of your mind, so that you may prove what the will of God is, that which is good and acceptable and perfect." When we're focusing on what's lovely and pure and noble and good, that's from Philippians, then we're replacing that faulty reasoning and thinking and rewiring our brain, and we're focusing on truth. And in other words, that helps the counselor because we want to work ourselves out of a job and to have the wellness of a client. You also had mentioned a counselor you knew that went too fast, too far, too soon, and offended you, and so you did not return. That I agree, that's an art and skill to know when a client is ready to dive in, and I think it would go a long way not to offend someone and establish that warm rapport. If we remembered the words of Mary T. Lathrop. She was a poet, and in 1895, this was the 10th stanza she wrote, and it says, "Remember to walk a mile in his moccasins, and remember the lessons of humanity taught to you by your elders. We will be known forever by the tracks we leave in other people's lives, our kindness and generosity. Take the time to walk a mile in his moccasins." Mary T. Lathrop, 1895. Thank you for sharing, Aubrey.